The number of nuns in the U.S. is nowhere near what it used to be. Research shows there will be fewer than 1,000 left by 2042. That's here in the U.S. In WTOL 11 exclusive, Christy Gerlette talked with members of local orders, and tonight we get an idea of how their role has changed and if they've noticed the numbers dropping.
God is love, let heaven adore him.
Sister Nancy Lennon-Kugel joined religious life when she was 19 years old. Now, at the age of 71, she has spent more than half her life as a nun. A way of life some would say is dying off, literally.
When I think about when I entered over 50 years ago now, we were a workforce in the church. There were so many parishes and there were so many Catholic schools.
I confess to Almighty God, to you, my brothers and sisters.
Look at today in the church. You've got parishes changing, parishes are closing or consolidating.
Those changes and the effects of them can be seen right here at home. The Sisters of Saint Francis of Sylvania, of which Sister Nancy belongs, hasn't had a young woman in her 20s join the order since the 80s. Yet on average, 5 sisters from the order die each year. The combination of nuns dying due to old age and the lack of young women signing up to replace them is putting that small portion of our society, women in religious life, at risk of being a thing of the past.
Jesus, I trust in you.
Last year, there were reportedly fewer than 42,000 nuns in the United States, which is a 76% decline over 50 years.
Those numbers don't worry me, because I think of my community. We started with 2 women in 1850, and there's been thousands of us since then.
Sister Jenny Zimmerman, a part of the Sisters of Notre Dame, is in her 40s. She joined in her 20s. Here she is, encouraging other young women, even younger than her, to join the sisterhood.
And I remember you saying something about, it was different than other young adult things.
Yes.
You had been.
Women like 28-year-old Caitlin Morris, who considers herself a cradle Catholic, having gone to Catholic school from kindergarten through 12th grade, yet took a step back from the faith in her college years and became a nurse.
I was doing very good work, taking care of people and doing good things, right? But there was something still missing. I couldn't figure it out. I had tried the dating thing, that didn't work. And finally, after a lot of prayer, is when I really realized that this was intentional service to others was what I was being called to.
The journey to becoming a nun is a long one, with checks and balances along the way. The whole process can take over 10 years.
It's always a mutual discernment. It's the woman's discernment of, am I called to this religious community? But it's also the community's discernment of, does this woman seem to fit? Do we believe that God is calling her based on our experiences?
I have hope that once people start to see that there are young sisters, that they will feel a little bit more courageous about answering the call.
A call that some might say is too much of a sacrifice. Vows that nuns take, poverty, chastity, and obedience, can seem restrictive to most, but to these nuns, it's the opposite. Their freedoms.
The fact that I am not married means if there's a need in Texas, I can be gone by this weekend. I don't have to worry about what my spouse, what my children, are doing. By not owning a house, by not owning a car, I don't have to worry about some of the things that most people in the world have to worry about financially.
No matter how you look at it, these women who dedicate their lives to God, they say, it's not a choice, but a calling.
I might be one of the only young sisters here in the States, but that there are sisters all around the world that are supporting me.
It's not for everybody, but it's God who's doing the calling, not us.
For WTOL 11, I'm Christy Gerlette.